Was that hard to realize?
It was a shocker because then you forget why you're fighting. After a while, this rage, you rage on, but you forget the reason.
So you're in preparation for this fight in Zaire, and prior to that, Muhammad Ali, I guess, is invited to speak at the Boxing Writers Annual Banquet. Play a little bit of a prank on him.
Yeah, they're going to give me the heavyweight title match. And I'm thinking, this guy's out messing with people all the time, so I told my friend, Mr. Moore, I said, I'm going to sneak up behind him, I'm going to rip his jacket off. And for the first time, I'm going to play with his head. So as he's up there speaking, he's made a joke with me, I'll jump up and rip his coat off. And I'm thinking, he's going to blow him away. He jumped me. He went crazy. But I knew I'd played a trick on him, though. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. He went throwing bottles and everything. I said, you're not a fair fighter throwing bottles. And he cussed me out like I don't know what. And that was for the first time I realized, hey, I don't know how deeply religious he is throwing bottles at me like that.
Wasn't too thrilled, to say the least, it seemed like. So the fight was scheduled for October of '74. Why Zaire?
Well, it was all about money. Don King had made a deal, from what I gather, someone to offer those kind of purses, $5 million. We didn't even know that much money existed. $10 million purse, where are you going to get it? No one had ever done it before. So he went out of the country and made a deal with the government in Africa, Zaire, and they helped him raise the money.
And you, Muhammad Ali, or you in particular, wanted to, help the nation, bring attention to it from what I read, and then you get there, and obviously no one heard that was what you...
Yeah, it was a strange thing because it was me who decided to take the fight. It was no one's idea, but okay, I'm going to do it. We're going to bring some attention to Africa. I listened to the plight of all the people, and I was going to do that and do some attention. When I got there, it was like, it was all foreign to me. It was like, what are you doing here? They called me all kinds of names.
Did they not like George Foreman, or did they just love Muhammad Ali?
I think it was a combination of the both. You just couldn't help but love Muhammad Ali. He came into Africa wanting people to love him. I went into Africa wanting to knock out Muhammad Ali. That's all. He wanted people to love him. I wanted to knock him out. People saw the differences.
How much were you in disbelief when, you get off, maybe you think the attention's going to be one way, and then it turns out to be completely different?
In those days, I didn't care about attention. Someone was going to wear a white hat and a black hat, and you can believe me, the black hat was fine for me. I didn't care how they booed me. They did it in Venezuela. If they done it in Africa, it didn't matter to me. All I wanted was to knock somebody out, take my money, and go home. It didn't matter.
It was delayed a month because of a cut you got. What transpired in that month?
The fight was delayed. I didn't want to be that long. I tried to, as a matter of fact, go to one of the other countries so I could heal up properly, but found out instantly no planes carrying George Foreman was leaving that place. We were stuck in Zaire. I couldn't leave. So I got a chance to see some of the country, meet some of the people, and I started to like a lot of people. I made a lot of friends in Africa.
You were given a glass of water prior to the match by Dick Sadler. How strange did the water taste?
Well, Dick Sadler and I had this ceremony. Before each boxing match, I would dry out the day before, maybe drink half a cup of tea, half a water. But prior to the boxing match, I'd have my ceremonial drink, and he'd always give it to me out of a bottle. And this time I took a drink, and I said, man, this water tastes like medicine. Same water as always. I didn't want to make him feel offended, so I took another drink. I said, man, this water tastes like that medicine. Same water as always. I'll never forget that water and the medicine taste of it.
Did you think something was done to the water?
I didn't think at that point anything, because I couldn't believe a man who loved me, called me son, would do something like that.
Looking back on it?
Looking back on it now, I knew everything. As a matter of fact, you travel with these guys and they tell you about the old days and what was done in this and what was done in that, who threw a boxing match. But I didn't realize that they were telling me, I thought they were just telling me old stories. I didn't know they were describing themselves.
So you indeed, looking back, think
Looking back, I'm just so happy I didn't die over there, because one thing I knew about Dick Sadler, he was not a pharmacist. Sometimes people mix things together and they could kill a human being. I'm just happy to be alive.
So you're walking out to the ring. What was the environment like?
Oh, for me, I shut off everything. Once it's time for a boxing match, I'm shut off. Everything is blinked out. I didn't even look left or right. I wanted to get in that ring, get me a quick knockout of Muhammad Ali, and go home. That's all I wanted.
It's the third round, and you wrote in your book, Muhammad's face looked like he'd just seen a miracle. He had his own survival. How much trouble were you causing him up to that point?
You know, of course he landed a few shots, but everybody hits me in a boxing match. But it's that one shot that I give him. And I hit him and drove him into the ring, into the ropes with a good shot. And I wailed on him. I went to finish him off. The bell rang. He looked at me and said, I made it. And I said, he made it. And things changed then. The next round, I went out and crushed him some more. And when I hit him behind the head, someone in the crowd, and I never will forget this, it was someone dear to me because I can't even remember who they were, looked at me and said, boo! They were against me. For the first time I realized people I thought were really fans were against me. That bothered me, and I never did throw that punch again.
And that was a punch that you thought would have essentially finished him off.
And I didn't do that. I never threw that punch again. The punch that I had to really hurt him, I never threw it again because that some person influenced me. But then, excuses, excuses, excuses. I got a bunch more if you got time.
Well, how much in that fight, just out of curiosity, do you think he was benefiting by that top rope in the ring being so loose?
What benefited, or Muhammad Ali was benefiting most, is courage. I fought lots of guys, and I'd beaten lots of guys, stronger, harder punchers, but I'd never faced a human being with that amount of courage. He was the most courageous human being I'd ever been in the ring with. He had more courage than ability, than skill, than punching power, and courage sometimes can save you.
Where did the courage come from?
I don't know. For some reason, I looked in his eyes, and, you know, he's like, you're just going to have to kill me. I can't lose. And that was the kind of courage I'd never seen before. He was married to courage.
But you, on the same note, seem to be in similar situations or had the same thing in the back of your mind, that that was the only situation in which you were going to go out of a fight oftentimes too, right?
And you think I was scared? Not 1 ounce of fear in this, which I should have been. With Joe Frazier, I had this gift of fear, and it enabled me to protect myself as well. But with Muhammad Ali, I had no fear. I got tired. Still, I didn't have any fear. I'm going to knock him out. As a matter of fact, as he hit me with a right hand, I was coming after him. It wasn't like I was running from him. Too much courage. And sometimes too much courage for me turned out to be stupidity. Right. Ignorance. You know, a man who'd been in the ring with Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, and all these people, and they'd never knocked him out. Who am I to try to think I'm going to knock him out 4 or 5 rounds? I was just stupid.
How much was your onslaught of punches wearing you down?
You know, that's another excuse I'd like to have, too. You heard about
they're legitimate, though.
You know about the rope-a-dope? Yeah, I'm the dope who throws all his punches while the other guy just lays on the rope until you get tired. And but I threw a lot of punches, but that's nothing, too, because those punches that I generally thrown at people had worn them out and made them faint as well.
Take me through the series where you go down.
Okay, I was following him. He's trying to get courageous. I said, I'm going to get him. And I charged at him. He moved off the ropes. When he did, I said, I'll get him. Rather than getting my position, I turned to face him. When I did, I saw the most quick left-right combination I'd ever seen in my life. Pow-pow! And when it hit me, it was like, dong-yong, that didn't hurt, that didn't hurt. But I fell and hit the canvas. And I thought, now there'll be no more covering up. I tried to get up, Sadler said, wait, wait, wait. You're always supposed to look to your corner. They tell you when to get up because you may jump up and fall down again. I said, but if he's sitting there thinking he's going to knock me out, that he's going to try to finish me, and then I'm going to crush him. When I jumped up, it was over.